Today I'm going to do a modification on this Stratocaster copy where I'm going to make these two tone knobs into two master tone knobs. And this one, the top tone knob, is going to cut treble on all the pickups. And this bottom tone knob is going to cut bass on all the pickups. This is the same way the tone controls work on the G&L Legacy, which in my opinion makes it a better guitar than the Stratocaster for that reason. But anyway, the way the tone controls work on a normal Stratocaster like this one is that the top tone knob only cuts treble on the neck pickup, and the bottom tone knob only cuts treble on the middle pickup, and the bridge pickup doesn't have a tone control. And I consider this to be a bad thing, since sometimes the bridge pickup is too bright and brittle and I would want to roll off treble on it, but I can't. And also sometimes the neck pickup is too bass heavy and there is no way to cut bass from it. All you can do is just cut more treble from it. So that's why I'm doing this mod. Technically, these are all things I could just adjust on the amplifier, but I'm not going to. Alright, to get started I'll have to remove the strings and the pickguard since all the controls are attached to the pickguard instead of being their own separate plate, which was seemingly done on every other Fender guitar. Looking underneath the pickguard now, they give me one tone capacitor, which is a very high value, so I'm probably going to use it for the top tone knob. For the bottom tone knob, I'm going to use these, which are .0033 UF capacitors, which is much more useful for cutting bass. I don't really know the significant difference between ceramic capacitors and film capacitors, but all of these are film capacitors. Alright, I'm going to go to the wiring diagram to show what I'm doing because whenever I solder on camera it never comes out very clear what I'm doing. This is more or less how a standard Stratocaster is wired. This graphic is here for reference. The lug all the way over at the left is lug 3, the one in the middle is lug 2, the one over at the right is lug 1. Now first I would start by removing all the wires from the lugs of the tone controls, just to keep things neater. Next, I would remove the tone cap. I would move it to tone 1. One end of the tone cap goes to lug 2. The other end goes to ground on the top of the tone pot. Then I would get another cap. And then this one is soldered between lugs 1 and 3 of the bottom tone control. And there also needs to be a jumper because lugs 1 and 2 need to be connected to each other. Next, connect lug 1 of the bottom tone control to lug 1 of the top tone control. Now the wire on lug 3 of the volume needs to be disconnected and then moved to lug 1 of the top tone control. And lastly, a wire needs to go from lug 3 of the bottom tone control to lug 3 of the volume control. And that is it. So the modification is finished now. I have two capacitors in here. All the wires are going to their correct places. I'll put the guitar back together and I'll hear how it sounds. So that's the end of the video. I think I made this approximately $80 Crescent Stratocaster copy a little bit better for my purposes. As for my quick review of the guitar itself, it's okay. My only issue with it is that it's only 21 frets, even though the stock photos of it show it as being 22 frets, but that's such a minor gripe that it's hardly worth mentioning. There's nothing jarringly wrong with this guitar.